Guys, they all lied. Every single PlayStation fan, every pony that said that Xbox had no games, that Xbox games are no good, that no one wants to play Xbox games, they all lied. We are going to expose them today. We have irrefutable evidence that they lied, that the old ponies who are basically the guards of the PlayStation community, they are too old to see what gamers really want. They are too old to know what the gaming community as a whole wants. All of this was exposed yesterday by one simple tweet, by one simple revelation. We will see that very clear in today's video. In the meantime, we have Phil Spencer talking to all his developers and telling them this.
You do your job.
I do my job.
And you do it well.
And I try to do it well.
No, you don't try. You do it.
I do it. That's all.
Yes, the Xbox developers, the Xbox game developers are the best at what they do. And it's very clear. Even the PlayStation community is telling the Xbox devs that they are the best in what they do. Yes, we will talk about how the PlayStation is using their money to tell the Xbox developers that they are the best. On the other side of the coin, we have the battle of the insiders. Yes, the battle of the insiders. Now we have a new guy that is coming out saying that he have insiders. Insiders that are telling him that Hellblade 2 and Starfield will be coming to PlayStation 5. Listen to this new guy talk about his insiders. Everyone has an insider who don't want to come outside. They only want to stay inside because outside is where the real life is. So they need to stay inside to remain an insider. Listen to this new guy talk about his insiders.
Throwing anyone under the bus here. And I've kept this under my hat for quite some time. But I've now confirmed this with 4 separate sources. I haven't seen any documentation or banners that would prove it, but I have confirmed it with 4 separate sources that also say the same thing. So there is a Hellblade 2 port for PlayStation.
So Risk It for a Biscuit, I believe his name is.
Who?
He is saying that he would have held on to this information for some time now. That information could be smelling at this point, being under his hat for that long. He also is saying that he had 4 separate sources.
Ketchup. Good.
Yes, 4 separate sources that confirmed that Hellblade 2 and Starfield would be coming to PlayStation 5. But it's funny that right after this guy, Risk It for a Biscuit, made this statement, other known proven insider said this about his statement. Jez on Twitter said, "Can confirm that as of right now, this is completely false."
Damn.
Jez is saying that his sources are better. His sources have spices, thyme, and even more ingredients. And his sources are saying that this Risk It for a Biscuit is lying. There is no Hellblade 2 in development for PlayStation 5, basically ending this new insider career before it started. Then Jez Corden went on to another known developer. This one name is Silk Knight. Silk Knight says the announcements won't stop. Starfield will be announced for PlayStation 5 with a release between November and December 2024. The 2025 plan is even bigger, featuring well-established franchises in the Xbox universe. Then Jez went for Silk Knight jugular when he said, "Since some people are asking me about the latest rounds of Starfield rumors, I'll say definitively, I have great sources that nobody is working on Starfield for PlayStation right now. Nobody knows what the longer term future holds, but don't expect it anytime soon." So just basically ended 2 of these rumors' careers because he's putting up his career on the line. Silk Knight is putting up his career on the line, and also this Risk It for Biscuit guy is putting up his. He didn't start it. He ended before it started. So who is better? Who is stronger? Which source is the strongest one? We'll see when time goes on. But we're not here to talk about all of that. What we're here today to talk about is how one game exposed the majority of the so-called PlayStation Nation, the majority of the ponies, because this game really helped the entire industry to see that PlayStation gamers are starving. PlayStation gamers are hungry and thirsty for new experiences and new games. And guess what? They shows that Xbox games is really on top. So without further ado, let's talk about it.
This is a sickness!
Let's get it. Before we start the video, let's take a look back at Now You Know gaming history. And today we're going to talk about Earthworm Jim. You see, Earthworm Jim was an interesting video game. This game was released in 1995, and this game was, a very interesting side-scrolling platforming game. Now, this game came along at a time when platforming was king. We could remember games like Mario or Donkey Kong, but this game is more similar to Donkey Kong. Now, Earthworm Jim was so popular back then that it even had its own TV show. Yes, this game spun off its own TV show on WB, and it had a very good run. Now, did you know that the creator of Earthworm Jim also created the streaming service that Sony has, which is Gaikai? Yes, the owner of Earthworm Jim is the one who created Gaikai that Sony now has. They bought it from this creator for $380 million back then. So this is a very, very interesting. That guy who created Earthworm Jim and Gaikai looks to be very, very talented, and for that he was richly rewarded. So did you enjoy and play Earthworm Jim? Did you find it to be one of the best platformers back then? Let me know in the comment sections below. Now, this segment was brought to you by the Let's Get It podcast. Now, as I said before, this is a podcast that I would be hosting. If you would like, you can donate to my rig that I'm building for the podcast. My PayPal would be in the descriptions. If you can't donate, no problem. Your liking and subscribing is enough. So let me know what you think about this game here. Now let's get back to the video. First up, let's talk about how Sony is telling its player base,
Please come home. I got beans and bologna.
Sony is telling these guys to please come home because they are loving Xbox games more than they are loving their own first-party games. Listen carefully as Windows Central tells us what has happened since Sea of Thieves has gone up for sale on the PlayStation Network. Listen up.
Microsoft and Rare's Sea of Thieves is currently the #1 most pre-ordered game on PlayStation. Microsoft and Rare are about to find a whole ton of new pirates. Last month, Microsoft confirmed during an Xbox Business Update podcast that it would be bringing some of its Xbox console exclusive games to PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. The first 4 games include Grounded, Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, and Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is by far the biggest game of the bunch, given that the multiplayer sandbox pirate adventure has reached tens of millions of players across both Xbox consoles and PC. Microsoft's decision to dilute the meaning of Xbox exclusive has been met with some fierce resistance in some quarters and quiet skepticism in others, lamenting the possibility of a collapse in Xbox console hardware sales. Microsoft and others have argued that the console industry is largely a static install base of around 200 to 250 million overlapping users, and the future of gaming is going to be more about targeting users where they are, rather than trying to absorb them into a closed ecosystem. At the same time, Microsoft said, not to expect more than this initial pool of 4 ports for Nintendo Switch and PlayStation, but if the experiment is successful, it stands to reason to expect more to jump across. To that end, Sea of Thieves will be among the first games to explore this new direction, and so far, it seems like it's paying off. Confirmed by industry analyst Benji Sales and others, Sea of Thieves has hit the top spot on the pre-order chart for PlayStation in the United States, as well as various other territories. Microsoft is already a prolific publisher on PlayStation, owing to games like Minecraft, Minecraft Dungeons, and some of the acquired titles from studios like Bethesda. Microsoft can now also count Activision Blizzard games like Call of Duty as part of that envious revenue stream, too. What Microsoft will be monitoring closely is whether or not this experiment will lead to a decrease in monthly active users. Microsoft confirmed in its most recent investor call that Xbox console monthly active users are higher than ever, counting both Xbox One and Xbox Series X players in that stat. Xbox Series X sales might fall far behind PlayStation 5, but the implication here is that both sides are selling hardware to an existing user base, rather than an expanding one. Popular service games like EA Football, FIFA, Minecraft, and Fortnite remain actively updated on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, contributing to the long tail of the previous console generation.
So yes, you are hearing right. Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is number 1 on the PlayStation. A 60 Metacritic game, a 69 Metacritic game is number 1 pre-ordered game on the PlayStation. Yes, but not only in the US, but also in France, in UK, and in Germany. Could you guys believe this? Could you guys understand the sickness that is the Pony Nation? Who would have spoken ill about all these games for years about Xbox? You remember the slogan, Xbox has no games? The reason why they said that statement was because they didn't even consider games like Sea of Thieves and these other games as games. The PlayStation community is all cap, all of them. Not one of the so-called true PlayStation gamers who have platinum and this and all these trophies and that could have understand what the gaming community, what the gaming nation really wanted, because all of them discredited Sea of Thieves and other games that Xbox players had all these years. And now we are seeing proof that really and truly all they wanted was the Xbox games. This is what it is. This is clear evidence. In addition to that, guys, there's proof. We have these guys on record saying that no one wants Xbox games. Look how many ponies were very confident to say that no one wants Xbox games. Look at it. We are seeing here no one wants Xbox games. Look, when they announced a number of different projects. Look at this. They even had a polls. No one wants Xbox games. Look at these things. And now all of a sudden we have one of the chief pony trying to do damage control. And look at what he said. Yes, we wanted your games all along. Phil Spencer knew this and happily obliged. Now shut up and give Phil Spencer another award. This is what these guys are saying. You see why you can't take none of them in the pony community serious? Because they are not even sticking to their guns. All of them is now admitting that Xbox games are the best. Xbox games is where it's at. But you know what makes all of this even worse, guys? Look at this. Sea of Thieves, the deluxe version is number 1. Then we have MLB The Show. Then we have Star Wars Battlefront. Sea of Thieves are even beating out games like Dragon's Dogma. Look at Sea of Thieves, they're the standard edition for $40. That is number 5, right? But take a look at Rise of Ronin. This is an exclusive game. This is a game that the PlayStation community was hyping. Why is a PlayStation exclusive at number 8? Why is an Xbox game, a 4-year-old or if not 6-year-old Xbox game, beating the stuffing out of a brand new game exclusive to the PlayStation 5. Could any pony explain that to me, please? Why is Sea of Thieves, as one pony said, diabetic gaming, is beating a jammer like Rise of Roman? What's going on here? This is craziness, this is madness, this is insanity. These guys are sick. I told you guys, these guys are sick to believe that this game is beating every other PlayStation game. Wow, this is madness. And the PlayStation community has just been exposed as liars, as hypocrites. And what they really do is that they really want Xbox games. This is Island Gaming with Jay, guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Sea of Thieves?